Did I catch you practicing again? You must really be working hard.
Oh, you better believe I have been. I'm trying to get all those dynamics in now that my music is Mr. Rabbit free.
Great work, Annie. I can't wait to hear the final product, especially with those added dynamics like piano and forte.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because I can play soft here or loud there, but it feels like the dynamics are just coming out of nowhere. Like, it feels like if we were having this conversation and all of a sudden I just started yelling for no reason.
Okay, I get your point. So it sounds like you are hoping the dynamics feel more natural rather than just bursts of volumes all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful.
What was that, Annie?
See, random dynamics are just confusing.
That they are. Well, maybe we could figure out how to make the dynamics in your music seem less random. How about we make a flowchart of the dynamics? That way we can see the flow of the whole piece at the same time.
A flow chart? I've only ever used flow charts for like writing papers or while I'm reading a book. How would I use a flow chart for dynamics?
Let's take a look at an example. So, in this example, the dynamics are shown from quietest to loudest. It starts with double P for pianissimo, which is very quiet, then P for piano, which stands for quiet, which is ever so slightly louder, but still quiet, to mezzo piano, or medium quiet, to mezzo forte, for medium loud, to forte, for loud, and then of course double F, which stands for extra loud, or fortissimo.
Oh, that makes sense. So I could totally make one of these for my piece to show the dynamic flow of the entire piece.
That's the idea. Let's start by taking a look at those first dynamic markings.
Right, so the first dynamic is marked P for piano.
What kind of mood do you think the composer is trying to create in this section?
Well, it's piano, it's quiet, so probably something soft and gentle.
I would love to hear that conveyed through the music. Where does the piece go from there?
Well, it looks like it starts to get louder because it goes up to mezzo forte.
So it sounds like the piece is starting to grow in intensity.
Oh, definitely, because right after the mezzo forte is just a plain old forte.
Oh, wow. So it really is getting more intense.
Oh, yeah. My question, though, is how do I get all the way up there without it just sounding like I'm screaming for no reason?
Well, we definitely don't want to make our music sound like we're screaming for no reason. Let's see how we can make those specific changes seem less random.
Ugh, if only I had one of those volume slider things, that are on like keyboards and stuff.
As a matter of fact, there is a musical marking that kind of acts as a volume slider. It's called a crescendo.
A crescendo? Isn't that what like crabs and lobsters are?
No, Annie. You're thinking of crustacean. A crescendo is when you slowly increase in volume, little by little, rather than just all at once.
Oh, that sounds perfect, but how do I mark that in?
In music, crescendos are marked like this. They can be short or they can be long, depending on how quickly you want to move the slider.
Oh, that makes sense. So I'll just put the crescendo at the beginning of the line where the dynamic changes.
Great idea, Annie. Let's see what that looks like.
You know what? I bet I could even put a crescendo between the mezzo forte and the forte.
Oh, you sure can, Annie. Why don't you go ahead and add that in?
Okay, I see a little problem though.
What do you mean?
Well, the next dynamic is softer than forte. Is there a way to make the crescendo backwards?
Actually, there is. It's called a decrescendo, and it looks like this.
Wait, but that looks the same as a crescendo.
You're right. They do look very similar. Let's look at them side by side, though.
Oh, I see the difference. A decrescendo is just a backwards crescendo. Oh, and the volume matches how wide the marking is. So the open end is always the loudest, and the closed end is always the softest, regardless of which marking we see.
You've got it, Annie. So now, with our extra dynamic and our crescendo and decrescendos added in, let's take a look at what our flow map looks like.
And it looks like we only have 4 dynamics to go. I think I can figure these ones out.
That's awesome, Annie. Let's take a look at what you've got.
All right, so it looks like after that last mezzo forte, the volume goes up to forte, so I'll mark in that F. And then after the forte, it goes all the way back down to piano. So since that's such a huge change, I'll throw in a decrescendo. So we have forte, decrescendo to piano. Then after that piano, it looks like we go all the way back up to forte, which of course we need a crescendo. So we have piano to crescendo, forte, and then the last dynamic is piano. So we're going to go ahead and throw in another decrescendo from forte to piano, and I think I have it, and here is the final product.
Marvelous work, Annie. Now we can see that overall the piece is rather quiet, with just a few sections you want to emphasize, with some gradual volume changes.
Oh, it makes so much more sense now. I'm so glad we did this. Now I just have to practice in these modified dynamics, and I'll be ready for the big stage. I can just see it now, people cheering my name.
Well, I guess we'll have to let her drift off in her dream for a while. Until next time, my friends. Take care now.